O povo gira jamucangue, sim. Ombo gira jamucangue, ombo gira cujanjo. O pombo gira jamucangue, pombo gira jamucangue, o pombo gira o pombo gira pombo gira jamucangue.
When the average person thinks about the martial arts, disciplines such as kung fu or karate will often come to mind. The Afro-Brazilian art of capoeira, although mostly shrouded from the mainstream, is beginning to catch some attention as well. This fluid art, traditional game, and rhythmic dance is as rich in culture and history as it is in beauty. Experts on the subject fervently dispute the origins of the art, but however this old 16th century tale is told, the beginning of its mass practice remains the same. Slaves are being shipped to South America from Africa, Brazil prominently included. Some theories suggest that the art was deeply rooted in an old African dance of courtship. Others, that it was a modification of an existing Brazilian art, while others still believe that it emerged as a way to fight back under the shroud of a seemingly innocent dance routine. Regardless of its true origins, capoeira gave that troubled people a way to rekindle culture, resist oppression, and raise morale even in the face of their hardships.
In Brazil, they band together, they formed together, and the different elements of their culture became capoeira. From that, it evolved into capoeira Angola, and from Angola evolved into regional, and so forth from there. But capoeira it's its own animal as well. Even though it has all these elements, it's its own thing. It's music, it's culture, art, sport, fight. All these things make up capoeira.
A capoeira foi na época da escravidão, um grupo que chegou ao Brasil. E esse grupo foram muito oprimidos, muito judiados, e eles criaram daí uma dança, uma luta disfarçada em dança, para que eles pudessem se defender. Então foram os primeiros negros, escravos, que é do grupo Negros Bantos, que criaram a capoeira no Brasil.
Music, the culture, the rituals, the movements, everything. It was difficult at first because I learned by ear, listening to CDs and listening to other people play and picking it up. But I think the most difficult part is playing and singing at the same time and watching the whole lot.
Probably the music. I love the singing, the energy that the music brings to, not only just the roda, but to practices and training.
Listening to CDs of capoeira music, you listen to the toques do berimbau, the music, and then I had my berimbau and I taught myself to play, before I started learning from a master. That's how I started learning, by audio and then trial and error pretty much.
I learned how to play berimbau through capoeira. The sound was easy, the rhythms were easy, but the actual playing, the physical part was very hard. And I've been doing capoeira for 3 years, it's still not the easiest thing. It's always hurt my pinky.
I love that it's bound by this whole cultural aspect that includes language, music, instruments, just getting to know people from different places. It's wonderful.
before I started doing capoeira, I was basically what you would call a nerd. And capoeira got me into breakdancing, African dance, salsa merengue, modern dance, stilt walking, rock climbing, skydiving, and traveling to several different countries to practice capoeira.
Struggled with weight my whole life, and immediately doing capoeira as pounds started dropping and body movement period, just it opened up a lot of freedom and fluidity with body movement and the group support. Capoeira is a culture and it's a way of life, and it's that whole thing is very helpful for emotionally and spiritually.
As far as the body goes, it's like one of those things that what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger, and so it just builds you up. And the mind, you do things that you're like at first you're afraid that, oh, I'm just gonna land on my head and break my neck, but then you do it, you're like, oh, it wasn't so bad. So it builds confidence in yourself too.
Physically, I found out I had muscles I didn't know I had. It just worked me in ways that I hadn't experienced before, and developing that kind of fluidity also. And then mentally, I think it's such a challenge. The roda is a place where you have to go in the middle and everybody stands around and watches you.
But the thing about capoeira is that you have to learn how to use your entire body. So every movement, it's not something that you can just use one part of your body. So sometimes you're put in a situation where you're using both sides of your brain. And I think that deals with the mind right there, putting it together.
The movements, I would say the movements of capoeira, and also the music. Like basically the whole culture of capoeira is amazing to me, but I'd say the movements. I like moving, twisting my body around, playing, switching around, watching other people, like the whole
Capoeira is the only game I've ever found where the rules change every time you play. It can be a game of any different type depending on who you're playing, who's watching, what else is happening, how do you interact with the other people. It's more varied than any other physical discipline I found in the world.
I enjoy a lot of different aspects of capoeira. Certainly the physical side of it, the exercise, but the camaraderie with the other students is really amazing. It really shines through, particularly in our school. We have the opportunity to be really goofy and fun with each other, and at other times really serious, and learn something new from each other on a regular basis.
It's a fight that's effective day one. It has a high learning curve, and when capoeira is not easy, it has a high learning curve. But once you start getting used to its movements and its rhythm, everything else seems to be standing still. And you just move past everyone else's kicks or everyone else's punches, and you become like Spider-Man. So in a sense, you're a superhero. Like Bensu is a basic, one of the first kicks you learn. It's not really a kick, it's a push. It means blessing, because in the old days, the more a master liked you, the harder he would kick you. And so that kick became, your blessing, that he really liked you, and it strengthens your legs. Meia de French is literally means something like half moon forward, but it's another martial arts you call a forward crescent kick. Meia de Compasso is like half compass, something like that, and it's a signature kick of capoeira, where, how can I even describe this? You're bent over, one leg on the ground, one leg in the air, both hands on the ground, and you're swinging. So it's kind of like a roundhouse with both hands on the ground. Then there are the au. Au is a cartwheel. Au fechado is a cartwheel with your legs bent. Au agulha is like a round off. You know, people who do gymnastics, it's the first part before you go into a backflip. It's like your entry into a backflip.
Para mim é uma conversação, uma história de amigo para amigo, dizendo o que quer fazer e o que pode ser feito.
Capoeira is
A challenge.
Everything.
Life.
Capoeira é capoeira.
Everything you find in life, you find inside the hood of capoeira.
I'm gonna make a lot of people mad. To me, capoeira is black. It's very, very black.
It's fun. Fun.
A palavra para definir capoeira, eu definia capoeira.
Capoeira is, I'm a student who teaches and I'm a teacher who learns.
Capoeira is a fight. Capoeira is a sport. Capoeira is love. Capoeira is the soul. Capoeira is everything. So.